Is it still worthwhile to exercise even if you don't plan on taking any shirtless bathroom selfies? Let's go. What's up everyone, Mike Muellner here. I'm an internal medicine doctor from Los Angeles, California, and today I want to talk to you guys about the benefits of regular physical activity. There's a long list of benefits and it goes way beyond just trying to look good for those selfie pics. So first and foremost, regular exercise does increase muscle and bone strength. I know that probably sounds pretty obvious. Regular physical activity will make you stronger, but this is something that I think gets more important as you get older. Just to give you an example, I've always been, or at least ever since I was like 10 years old, I've been really into skateboarding. And I used to be able to skate without even doing it regularly or really doing any exercise or other physical activity, and it would seem like I would never lose it. But now I find if I hop on a board without doing it for a while, especially if I've been pretty sedentary, just going to work and coming home, I just don't have the strength to do a lot of the tricks that I used to be able to do pretty easily. And I'm not even that old, I'm in my 30s, but yet there's no question that if I want to keep doing the stuff that I was doing in my teens and 20s, I gotta stay on it when it comes to regular physical conditioning. And this is something that just gets more important the older we get. A lot of the patients that I take care of in the hospital, they're in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. And what I find pretty regularly is if they spend any considerable amount of time in the hospital, 1 week, 2 weeks, or a month in the hospital, they can get very deconditioned. And so it's not at all uncommon for people to recover from the initial medical problem but then still not be ready to go home. Instead of going home, they have to go to a nursing home and spend a few weeks there getting stronger before going back home. And so that really goes to show you the importance of regular physical activity in maintaining muscle and bone strength. The next benefit of regular exercise is it helps with sleep. So a lot of people have a problem falling asleep at night. We live very busy lives. Half the day we're on our phones, especially late at night. This can make it harder to sleep. One thing that can make a big difference is with physical activity during the day. Now, I don't know about you, but I find that I seem to sleep especially well if I've had enough of a workout during the day that my arms and legs feel a little bit sore. I think that's a really good feeling when you're laying in bed, getting ready to fall asleep, and you've got that feeling knowing that you've exerted yourself throughout the day. But one other little caveat here, you don't want to work out right before going to bed. This can make it so that you feel kind of amped up, you don't feel like going to sleep. So any workouts, try to get them in at least 4 hours before going to sleep. And the next benefit of regular physical activity is with gut health. It helps to maintain regular bowel function. And this is another thing that I never really understood the importance of until I started working in the hospital, where it's quite common for people to go 3, 4, or even 5 days without having a bowel movement. And some of the problem with that is because they're laying in bed all day, they're not doing their normal physical activity. You can get what's called an ileus, where the gut basically just falls asleep and it isn't moving normally. Now in the hospital, there's oftentimes other stuff going on. People are sick, maybe they're on opioid pain medications, which can make you really constipated, or maybe they've had procedures, especially abdominal surgeries. But still, the common factor in all of this is that they're spending a lot of time in bed, not moving around a lot, and that can really make bowel function worse. Now, on to the next benefit of regular physical activity is it helps to maintain normal blood pressure. So this is key. High blood pressure is called the silent killer, and we call it that for a reason, because even though you might not have any symptoms of having elevated blood pressure, over time, it can cause damage to the kidneys. I've even seen kidney damage get so bad from what we call hypertensive nephropathy, where people end up having to go on dialysis. High blood pressure can also cause damage to the heart. It causes the muscle to get very thickened. This makes it harder for the heart to fill. When the heart doesn't fill properly, it can't pump properly, so you can actually get congestive heart failure from that. Elevated blood pressure also increases the risk for stroke as well as other vascular issues such as aortic dissection. This is where the big artery actually gets a tear in it. That can be potentially life-threatening. So lots of bad stuff can happen from having chronically elevated blood pressure, and regular physical activity helps to prevent that from happening. And another benefit for regular physical activity is it helps to maintain a normal weight. Now, it might not be the greatest thing in the world for initially losing weight. If you've ever spent time on a treadmill, you've probably noticed this. You're running as fast as you can, sweat's pouring down your face, and then you go and look down at the little calorie counter and find you've only burned like 120 calories, which is basically half the KitKat you had as an afternoon snack. So it's hard to get that initial caloric deficit you need for weight loss loss with just exercise alone. You got to have diet too. But once you lose the weight, regular physical activity is very effective at helping to prevent it from coming back. All right, and I've saved the best for last. This is something that a lot of people probably don't think about a whole lot regarding exercise, and that is that it can help prevent depression. That's right, exercise has been proven to improve mood. And I think this is certainly the case. When I think back to the times when I've done exercise afterwards, I do tend to feel pretty good. I can't think of a situation where I was sort of moping around feeling depressed after I just run a couple miles. Now, this might not be the case for everybody. Somebody with very severe depression or even moderate depression, even if that individual exercises daily, that might not be enough. He or she might still need treatments like psychotherapy or antidepressant medications. Okay, that's it. That's some of the major benefits of regular physical activity, which extend way beyond just trying to look good for those selfie photos. And I want to leave you guys with one last thought, and that is that I can't think of a single time in my life when I've done some exercise or workout and then regretted it later. Even when I'm tired, even when I'm really busy, even when I don't feel like working out at all, I always look back on it and am glad that I did.